What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to It's in the Blood. Papa's in the house today. Got a little bit of good, solid recruiting news over the weekend from the transfer portal and decided that today, Tuesday, would be a very good time to go live and kind of just talk about what transpired, what's happened since the end of the season, and kind of figure out uh, a real trajectory or direction that this team's going. And I got to say that uh, we'll start at the beginning with the addition of Bryson Tucker, a 6'6" wing, not as good a shooter as McNeely supposedly, but possesses incredible athleticism. He's going to be a very high volume touch guy as a freshman. He's going to play a really big role, but I felt like when they went out and got him as that first recruit, you kind of felt like, man, that's a little bit much for his shoulders. He doesn't look like the guy that's polished, 100% ready to assume the role that he's going to fill. Next thing that comes to fruition is Miles Rice out of Washington State commits sometime last week. And this young man he's the same age as Gabe Cupps, I believe. Or at least the same class. He's already lived through cancer. He's already the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year as a point guard in his redshirt freshman season. And now we're sitting here, and there's a point guard that's going to be on this roster that's healthy now and seems to be that kind of guy that we expected Xavier Johnson to be. But here's the great part about that. That's a twofold win, because bringing a guy in like Miles Rice that's already got some time in the trenches and experience gives Gabe's Cupps a little bit more time to progress on his own, take off some of that pressure, that when he can really focus on his game when he's out there and not being forced to lead a team that he may not quite be ready for yet. He's a 4-year kid. Cupps is a kid that's going to be here for 4 years. He's a sophomore, junior, start to really flourish. So now we've got a quality ball handler to take over handling the ball and take some pressure off of both Galloway and Cupps, so those two guys can go back to playing the type of basketball that they were meant to play. And then what's next? You look up, and the big talk has been the number one transfer out there being Ballo. Ballo has got one thing that you cannot teach. Ballo has incredible size and experience. He's a fifth-year senior. He spent 2 years at Gonzaga, 2 years at Arizona, something to that effect. And he's got one more year of eligibility, and he's a fill in the middle. Hey, going back, if you had the opportunity, would you trade Peyton Sparks for Omar Ballo? I think you would. Sparks was a work in progress. He was a guy that wasn't very polished. Ballo is polished. So now you've got these three new players that are coming into situations that are not overly pressure, driven. They get an opportunity to come in and be themselves. So let's stop for just a second. Ballo is not a great free throw shooter. We're kind of getting pigeonholed into that category again. Hopefully that's something that improves. The other two guys that they were really looking at this week was Connor Hickman, wanting to bring him home because he was an excellent three-point shooter, a la he went to UC. So, congratulations to Lindsay, who's in the chat. Connor Hickman is a great three-point shooter, and he's going to be at UC this year. That's probably an effect of Kanaan Carlyle, who sometime later this week, probably by this weekend, is going to commit as well. Another combo guard. The two things that we haven't received out of this transfer portal is excellent free throw shooting, and we have not received a knockdown 3-point shooter. That's the only other area that we really are looking to fill at this point. But I think personally, you're going to get some guy, the kid from Grace College. I'm trying to think of his name right off the top of my head. The kid from Grace College, he's 6'10". He might come in as a rotational player for the bigs. You still got Farrell Payne out there that I really like from Minnesota. 6'9", 6'10", is another power forward type guy. And the other name that keeps popping up is Ryan Conwell from Indiana State. So we've got 3 more scholarships. Let me get that page brought up. We have 4 more scholarships left to fill. We're going to assume that Carlyle takes number 10. That leaves 3. If they put one more rotational player in there in some aspect, whether it be a power forward, another center, or whatever they stick in there, and maybe a shooter, that leaves 1 open scholarship. They might leave 2 for next year. So then that poses our lineup for 24-25 like this. Galloway and Leal and Ballo are 5th-year seniors, so super-duper seniors, extra year of eligibility. Take some pressure off Galloway. Nice. Leal will be a role player again. We already can kind of assume that. Then coming in at the junior right now would be Malik Renew, which he does not need to be the main guy down low. His size kind of prohibits. He's not built heavy. He's built more like a stretch 4 or a wing, a tall wing. So he's not quite built in that capacity. So that allows him to be himself. I think Coach has done a great job of putting pieces together to allow guys to play in the role that they were intended, which if you take a little pressure off your players, that gives them more confidence going forward. And that's why I'm so freaking psyched right now. Then you got your sophomores, which will be Cups, Mbako, and right now we'll just say Rice is a sophomore. We won't add Carlyle in there yet because he's not technically on the roster. But Mbako, if you would go back to the beginning of his freshman year just to see how far he progressed over the course of the season, the first 10 games of the season, it was hard to keep him on the court. It didn't matter how good he shot. He was lost on defense. He wasn't quite there. He was not ready to go. I think that's the main reason why he isn't testing the waters this year, because his level of development outweighs his earning potential at the next level. So he has the ability and talent, but I think he grew enough in one season to realize that he wasn't as good as he may have thought or he was projected to be, and that he's going to need another year. Kudos. That goes to show that there is some culture left at IU. Rice is going to be a sophomore. If you haven't watched any tape on Miles Rice, I'll probably put something together for you. Very fast with the ball, good prowess, good dribble penetration, getting to the rim. He has got a great mid-range game, and he's got an adequate outside shot. He's a very good rhythm shooter. So Cups will have a chance to grow a little bit. Cups kind of struggled a little bit with his jump shot in college. A lot of the reason was that he was falling off to the side, which doesn't really help him so much with his aim being excellent. He did have one good game this year, and that was against Auburn, where he knocked in a couple 3-pointers, got some good rhythm shots. So I think taking the pressure off of Cups, taking the pressure off Galloway, taking some of the pressure off of Leal, even though he's kind of just loves life. Then you've got Bryson Tucker coming in, who's going to be, whatever he gets is going to be gravy. He's probably going to fit in. He may start. He may be in that 6 or 7 spot, but he's going to have time to develop. with great players around him. So then the only thing that we haven't discussed yet is um, Ja'Kai Newton, which is the true wild card in this group right now. Is because he's a redshirt freshman. They let him rehab his knee this year and get back to 100%. The University of Indiana did a pretty nice job on his rehab. If you haven't checked it out, he's got some workout videos out there. He is built like what a combo guard should be. Uh, don't know how his game is going to translate to the next level, this level, but he's going to be our wild card. Uh, expect Carlyle to come in as another combo guard in that section, and that leaves us with 3 open scholarships going forward. If anybody else is pretty psyched, I would be. If not, saying hello, let's go really fast. My boy Panther's in the house. What's up, Zachary? Welcome. Miss Alex snuck in with the eyeballs. Sports Cat started his own Discord. Congratulations. Blistering Barnacles, what up? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Mr. Ian Relics is in the house. One of our resident video gamers. I'm sure a few will be there. Lindsay says they got somebody from USC today. I'm just stoked about. Let me get that brought up. I think I may have. I got so many tabs open today, it's not even funny. Let's see. Yeah, Connor Hickman, I think he went to UC. He's the Bradley kid. The one that I think that's still on the list is Ryan Conwell from Indiana State. I don't know that he's at. And I know that Indiana is looking at the kid from Grace College. And there's another big guy out there, Drexel's Amari Williams. I think he is going to be in this week as well. Definitely a group that looks like it's going to bump us up to bringing our expectations back to kind of where we wanted them. I mean, where we should be. We probably last year into this year looked like a top 5, 7 Big Ten team. I think the top 5 looks attainable. I think we've got better, as a lot of teams have not got that much better. There's a lot of transfer out of Wisconsin, a lot of transfer out of Minnesota. Michigan, we don't know what they're going to be right yet. Ohio State is getting better. Ohio State's going to be dangerous. We don't know what Purdue is going to look like, but Purdue is going to be competitive. That's for sure. What is up, Colin, Heavy Meadow Detective? Sorry about Ballo, my brother. I know that he was supposed to be in Louisville, I think, today. Looking at that, yeah, it's okay, man. Colin was going to come in here and blast me today, but he didn't get on his burner account, so he doesn't have to worry about Panther blasting him out for coming in and showing off a little bit too antsy. Lost his guy. Definitely what I wanted to talk about, and I got through most of it pretty quick. Look for Kanaan Carlyle. Look for him to sign or commit sometime later this week. I think his visit is set for the 18th. So look for our Pac-12 raid to continue. That gives us 3 quality players, 1 with only 1 year of eligibility, 2 with several years left to go. I think Coach is building in the right direction. Now we've got to work on the things that's got to be worked on is team building. I think that's really got to be the number one prospect, is getting these guys acclimated to one another, ready to play with one another and play as a team, not individuals. I think Ballo is going to get a very good season to build a resume for the NBA, and that's just for being a stellar inside guy that is going to take up space, defend the rim. I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to let some of the guys develop the way that they should. Mbako hopefully will have the season that he was intended to. Looking at it right now, it does look like Miles, Rice, Ballo, and Mbako and Renew look like 4 starters. Beyond that, it would probably be Carlyle if he had committed already. So that gives us the opportunity to run 9-10 deep again this year. I really hope Coach utilizes his depth and makes a 9 deep run at least. Louisville's picking up some steam with their new coach Kelsey from College of Charlestown. I think U of L's got a new outlook. Might be a little bit of a slow start. I think getting a team together, but Guy can truly coach. I think that's really going to be where they benefit and hopefully regain some of the past glory from U of L. They haven't had a solid basketball program in about as long as we have. Yeah, I think Duke has got some rebuilding to do as well. I think it'll be easier for them to go ahead. Second overall pick, huh? Filipowski going to go 2 overall. I can't. The NBA draft, I don't get that fired up about. Now the NFL draft, that's something that we're really going to look forward to, which is going to be coming up this week. I will have to get with Alex to get set up to figure out what we are going to do. If you haven't noticed lately, Alex is on the gaming channel. She is streaming like no tomorrow. She just came off a 9-hour golf stream, so heck yeah. We're getting close to the draft. I think she says 9 days. That sounds about right. We're just about a week away. Man, I tell you what, being excited about this basketball program, I can really blow through some data pretty fast. Good things about Ballo, if you don't know, Ballo was first team All Pac-12, I believe, and he was in the defensive All Pac-12 team as well. So he's a good rim defender. And also, he's a double-double machine, just consistency. He does lack in the free throw shooting department, as I think he shot about 50%. Most of the team shot about 50% last year. So that's going to be an area of work. I think he's got a great opportunity just cleaning up messes in there this year to build his case for the NBA. Hopefully, he will get the kind of year that Khalil Ware and that Trace Jackson Davis got, and where he will develop a little bit and work himself into a draft situation. So it's looking. Hold on, let me get one more screen up here. Let me figure out what I did with it. You know what? A lot of the guys in the Big Ten transferred out of conference. Thank goodness. There were some really good players that have moved on, so that really makes me feel better about next year. The Bradshaw boy ended up at Ohio State. Aaron Bradshaw, that one was one that I wasn't sure if he was going to be on our radar or not. I guess since we got Ballo, that really takes him out of the loop. There was another one that already filled his spot. And I can't remember. I must have closed my tab. A lot of the other names that were high. Oh, that's the one. Tony Perkins from Iowa. I think with the news of Rice and Carlyle to Indiana, I think that kind of forced his decision and pushed him to Missouri. But Tony Perkins, I believe, is going home to Missouri. Also, I did want to mention that that there was a rumbling on one of the transfer portal live streams that I was seeing, is that uh, McNeely had kind of reopened himself back up to Indiana, had did not eliminate them from his search, which I think is funny once he requested out. Um, but I don't know if something has changed and what he wanted, but I did see that his name was still in the loop. I hope they don't take him back, or I hope they don't allow him to try to come back. And I've got one more that I just can't find. Let me Google him real fast. Yeah, that's the other guy. The other one that's kind of the project guy is Elijah Malone from Grace College. He he is 6'10". He's the guy that I think his visits later this week to Indiana as well. I think the kid from Drexel, the kid from Grace, and Carlyle are all on the list for the end of this week. Um, he's a big kid, shoots the three ball a little bit. Definitely kind of a guy that is really athletic and gets around the rim. Elijah Malone, I believe it's an NAIA school. I was kind of watching a little bit of his tape right here as we talked about him. I don't know where that's going to really rope us in, but one more rotational big, and a shooter of any kind, or somebody in the power forward area. I don't know if they want to fill all of their scholarships, but getting to that point is probably the best bet, for next season. And I'm going to start putting together some content, some introduction videos as soon as this class is completed, and we will go from there. I did not intend for this to be a very long live today. I just wanted to get out here and share some excitement. Let me get the StreamYard back up. Yeah, let's hold on a second there. The Big Ten has UCLA, USC, and Oregon that are better than Indiana, so a seventh place finish. I'm going to say the Pac-12 has a very rough first year in conference. I love Mick Cronin at UCLA. I but I think the Big Ten might be trending towards a little bit of a down year. But Oregon is always a quality basketball team. We'll see how well they travel with. It's a different style of play in the Big Ten. It's a lot more physical. Teams like Iowa play the same style, and they usually are somewhere right in the middle. So we'll see how that is. Thank you for the comment, Dick. He's got IU at 7 right now. That's probably fair considering they haven't really got a chance to put their new team together. And Alex brings it up, or maybe Panther did. Calipari leaving Kentucky, and not that I disagree with the hiring of Mark Pope, but that is really kind of against Kentucky's MO. And what really surprised me more about that than Calipari leaving, because he just can't handle the ridicule of Kentucky fans. I think Hoosier fans ought to take note to how powerful your voice can be. But so he goes to Arkansas, and And then Scott Drew really doesn't want nobody really wants to take the job. And Hurley, why would you leave UConn? Drew has got a really good situation in Baylor. I don't know why he would want to leave. But that I think that's one of those things that brings Kentucky back down a notch, where you're guaranteed all the best recruits. That's not so anymore. Pope spent some years at BYU, so he doesn't really have the experience with the fan base. I think it's going to be a very humbling few seasons until they get it figured out. Pope may not be the guy or the answer. What up, Puppet? Good to see you. But it's definitely a tough place to coach. It takes a big name with big shoulders to kind of go into the University of Kentucky. It's exactly the same way we felt in Indiana in 1999 and 2000. When they threw Mike Davis to the Wolves. High wave of expectations. Yep, he's going to have it, in securing his first class and kind of, let him develop it. Maybe we're going to see the patience of Kentucky fans is a lot like the patience of Hoosier fans. We've grown to be patient out of necessity because we haven't had that success. Kentucky. Puppet, I donate you $2, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's losing Cal's entire class. A lot of them guys, I think they had the first one already commit to Arkansas today. It's gonna be tough sledding for Kentucky next year. It might be a down season, but got through it. Indiana has picked up. Omar Ballo is a fifth-year senior. I think that's going to be stellar. Duke playing Kentucky. Panthers gotta like that next year for sure. Miles Rice, freshman of the year point guard from the Pac-12, Washington State. Definitely going to be there. Colin says $2. Give it to Puppet. I'll have to go over and catch Puppet playing some games on Twitch and hook him up. It's 28 minutes in. I'm going to call it at 30. Look for some form of regular content coming in the form of streaming conversation. There's going to be some things happen. We just haven't quite figured it out. Definitely will be in here for the draft. And if there are any more announcements from my beloved Indiana University, I will definitely drop those. Maybe not a live stream like today. Yeah, Panther. I'm going to go back to gaming too, bro. I think I'm ready to rock. Probably today. I will probably do something today. You guys are flipping awesome. Well, Puppet, you're going to have to get in here and be some kind of a protagonist for us or something, man. We need you. You're a dude, man. But anyway, guys, I'm out. I'll see you guys very soon. Hopefully, I'll get Alex with me.